Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today is kind of a fun one. It's a painting in which I tackle a lot of items that I normally don't paint. Things like fabric, clothes, multiple people in one painting, backgrounds. And while I tackled some of these things with more success than others, I thought it'd be kind of fun to show you guys this time lapse. Unfortunately, when I started it, I didn't have the confidence to do an actual screen recording where you could see all of the menus and the layers in Procreate. It was kind of created as a project that I would pass the time with whenever I was struggling with inspiration or trying to just, you know, beat art block. I would return to this. I've struggled a lot lately with some sickness, and so I've just had a lot of migraines. I think from the atmosphere, the difference in pressure, all that stuff with the cold, and we've had a lot of snow, but this was just kind of my go to painting when I felt like I wanted to practice or I don't know, it was a funny painting. So, if you're unaware, this is Amelia, Strand, or Amelie, if you want to call her by her real name. She has several in the game, but it's from the video game Death Stranding. I originally saw a photo from a 90s film with like James Spader and an actress I didn't know the name of, and the look of the um, the posing was so intimate, and I just thought that's so beautiful, and so I started to paint that at first, and then I just got the idea that it would be really comical. It was close to Valentine's Day, of Higgs trying to kiss Amelie, who he reveres and thinks of as a god. But that's funny because in the game she refers to herself as Princess Beach with a B instead of Princess Peach, which is comical because she is part of the beach, which is like purgatory in the game, and so it's just a silly Mario reference in a video game that is trying to be very deep, and so it just almost feels like an out of place, silly joke, which gave me the idea of a silly, out of place drawing. I can't imagine that this would have ever taken place in such a serious game as Death Stranding, but the idea of it still cracks me up. So, as I was painting, and I'm really proud of the way that the dress turned out and the kind of general shapes of the whole painting worked out just so easily. I wanted to try and draw without lines, which is not something I do very often. I really like to start out with sketches and have line work and then go in and paint, which you're kind of seeing that process, that struggle right now with her face. I didn't have a great grasp of the direction of her skull, even with the reference photo, because I haven't drawn Amelie very much, and therefore I just didn't really understand the plans of her face. So I had to change the angle to one that I was more familiar with and kind of struggle through finding her likeness. And so I did have to go draw in like some more solid line work. But overall, I was really happy with what I was able to achieve with just a soft painting brush in Procreate. Oddly enough, I have actually moved completely into Clip Studio Paint. I know I had posted some videos talking about my struggle and how I really was having a difficult time getting used to the program, but I couldn't stay in Procreate because it kept crashing. It just could not handle the file size or maybe just the length in which I was staying in a file, and I was having to stop and start and save, into one layer and then open a new painting file just to create what I felt like were not that large of projects. And that really just led me to feel like I had to learn Clip Studio Paint. And Honestly, it was really hard and it took a lot of searching for brushes, searching for style. A lot of things had to change for me in order for me to be comfortable in Clip Studio Paint. Something about it on the iPad just feels strange to me still, but I switch back and forth between the iPad mode and kind of the full desktop version, and just, you know, I do what I can. If you're also struggling to move in between programs, just know that I think a lot of it comes from, finding processes that are easier for you. For me, Clip Studio Paint wasn't intuitive in the same ways that Procreate was. I struggle a lot with switching between tools on the iPad, and I have a lot of difficulty with finding brushes that are as comfortable as Procreate's are. I have found some now, but I still find at times there are certain brushes that I just preferred in Procreate, but I think the discomfort of moving programs is definitely overshadowed by the fact that I can create much larger documents now. And I think sometimes you just have to trade out those things. I needed a more powerful program, and therefore I kind of had to move away from Procreate if I still wanted to have time lapses recorded and have larger file sizes. I think with the Death Stranding game coming out sometime this year, hopefully, there's announcements being made in March, or at least a panel. I think the game has kind of inspired me, given me a little more motivation to create art than maybe I would have had for it last year. I've also found a small community of artists and writers online in Discord and on Tumblr, and that's just been really encouraging and fun to find others that are just as interested in a niche topic as I am. And that always kind of moves me into a creative space more than if I was just uh, like interacting with this media on my own. I know that for me, community and sharing and creating with others is the biggest part for me. That's what I'm interested in because it really gives you a connection, which is what this video game is all about. It's all about connecting to others, building connections, reaching out, and just kind of like being in a community with others that maybe don't share all the same thoughts as you, but that, are still there and are still able to be a community for you. And so, I don't know. I just think if you haven't played the game, you should. I think you'd really find it inspiring, especially in these crazy times of just political unrest. And the fact that the plot of the game is set post, our current time, I think you guys would find that a really interesting concept, and I hope that you guys will give it a chance. If you haven't already, please hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!